watching The Little Mermaid last night. Ariel. So hot. What movie is that from? The Fat here, hope you're doing well. So we got a new Disney movie out this weekend in the theater. It's a remake of their animated film, The Little Mermaid. Anyway, so the new Little Mermaid is out. The live action version of the 1989 animated classic. The one that myself and many others watched when we were younger. Ursula terrified us, and especially near the end when she got really big like a monster. And so they decided to remake it. Now they announced this movie way, way, way long ago. In fact, I remember in 2019, July of 2019 during CinemaCon, they announced that Halle Bailey would be playing Ariel all the way back then, almost 4 years ago. Now, of course, this movie got delayed because of the pandemic, and they kept pushing it back because they knew they had a hit on their hands. And I always said, back in 2018, when they had when Warner Brothers released Aquaman, I said, if Disney doesn't make a Little Mermaid movie now, they're never going to make a Little Mermaid movie. Because after watching Aquaman and all the underwater scenes, I'm like, we have the technology now to make the Little Mermaid. And here we go. Here we are. And so, I've watched The Little Mermaid many times when I was younger. I mean, even American Pie made a little reference to it. That's what I was getting at earlier in the video. And so, let's get into it. Positives. Halle Bailey. Not Halle Berry. Halle Bailey. She is a star in the making. And I've never seen anything else that she has done. I know she's done some TV stuff like Grownish. And she also has a music background. She's also a singer. But I have never seen any of her music, listened to any of her music, or music videos, or watched anything she's been in. Like Grownish, and a couple other things. So this was my first introduction to Halle Bailey. And let me tell you something. She does an excellent job. Not only with the underwater scenes and all doing with all that CGI of all the other sea creatures and, having to do that primarily by herself is a lot harder. You have all these sea creatures that are CGI and the background CGI and all that. And she's the only human figure. I thought she did a great job. She shows a lot of personality. She gets emotional and you buy that. Then when it comes to, obviously, if you know The Little Mermaid, when she loses her voice, and then she's on land with Eric. Those are also the telling scenes that she really pulled off, since she doesn't have to talk at all. Like, can she act without talking, And she really does a great job. I mean, you can buy the chemistry between her and Eric, even when she's not talking, though. And her voice, she has a great voice. It actually reminded me a little bit of Whitney Houston's voice. So, I'm going to call it right now. I don't have any knowledge of this, any prior. When Disney / Marvel decides to finally bring the X-Men into the MCU, do not be surprised if Halle Bailey is one of the people they look at to play Storm, Aurora Monroe. We go from Halle Berry to Halle Bailey. I'm saying it, don't be surprised. I'm calling it right now. Halle Bailey will be one of those people they will be looking at to play Storm in X-Men. In the MCU's X-Men. So I thought she did a wonderful job. Her scenes with Eric, her scenes with Ursula. She really showed that frightened, scared, vulnerable side Her scenes with her father, King Triton, played by Javier Bardem, I thought were really good. That parent, father-daughter dynamic. So like I said, this is her breakout movie. And she's going to be in the Color Purple remake in December. So between the Little Mermaid remake and the Color Purple remake, by the end of 2023, Halle Bailey is going to be one of those stars that say, breakout of the year. Mark my words. Then we got Melissa McCarthy as Ursula. Now, back in the day, way before they announced a Little Mermaid movie, I said, I know I put this up on Facebook at one point, I said the perfect person to play Ursula would have been Kathy Bates. And they made the Little Mermaid in the 2000s, or 90s, Kathy Bates would have been Ursula. But if you can't get Kathy Bates, Melissa McCarthy, she does an excellent job in the role. And she's not in the movie that much. I mean, Ursula is not a huge part, even in the original Little Mermaid. But every time Melissa McCarthy is on screen, you buy it when she sings her poor unfortunate souls. She does an excellent job. Some of her little quips and little facial moments, actually like little zingers, if you will, really work for the character. And I even like what they did with her character near the end. If you know the Little Mermaid, the climax scene where Ursula grows into this giant monster coming out of the water, the way they shoot that and the way the cinematography, I thought it was excellently done. Instead of going with what they did in the original, I think that would have looked a little weird, a little fake, a little too CGI looking. And how they do it in this one, it almost made it a little bit more scarier. I won't give how they do it, but if you see the movie, you might be like, yeah, they actually pulled that off really well. Now, I thought Melissa McCarthy did a great job. Alright, Sebastian. David Diggs as Sebastian is easily the MVP, besides Halle Bailey, of this movie. Sebastian, the little crab, he's awesome. He is hilarious. And I remember when they first put out those images of Sebastian and Flounder and Scuttle, you're like, oh my god, they look so realistic. But they're talking. Or they look kind of realistic, kind of like somewhere in the middle. And guess what? Don't judge it by a picture. Because the look of Sebastian is great. And David Diggs plays it excellently. His little quips, his little side remarks are hilarious. His back and forth with Ariel, his back and forth with King Triton, his back and forth with Scuttle. Sebastian and Scuttle, oh man, I can watch a whole short film of them two going back and forth. It's hilarious. Scuttle, the little seagull, voiced by Aquafina, she's hilarious. She even has her own little song in this movie, a new song. And like I said, she's hilarious in moments. Her back and forth with Sebastian is great. Her moments with Ariel are great. No, in fact, I'm going to say it right now. After watching this movie between Flounder, Scuttle, and even, Scuttle and Flounder, little fishy fool, and Disney decided to do almost like a Lion King. Well, no. If Disney decided to do a live action Finding Nemo, because we know Finding Nemo has human characters, I could see Disney doing a Finding Nemo live action movie after watching this Little Mermaid movie. The songs, of course. This is the Little Mermaid. You gotta have those songs. unlike Mulan. But Mulan. Um, Part of your world, great. Halle Bailey really knocked it out of the park. I thought it was maybe even better than in the original. The way they shot, the way the light, the camera moves, the color, how colorful it is, the colors popping. Um, poor unfortunate souls by Melissa McCarthy, great, worked. And then the one song that I thought they took out of the movie, but they didn't, la 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 na 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 na, you gotta kiss the girl. That is in the movie. I thought they took it out. They didn't. Because the whole Me Too movement, we can't have a guy trying to kiss a girl when she can't speak for herself. But no, they actually still had it in the movie. Way to go, Disney. You're making progress. I thought that was well done. I thought the chemistry between Ariel and Eric worked in those moments. No, those songs worked. Then we got some new songs. Eric has a song. I said Scuttle has a song. And I thought the newer songs worked too, to a degree. I like how they fleshed out Eric more than in the animated film. He really feels like a fully developed character. We get into his backstory a little bit, his parents, his upbringing, and I thought that was really good. It added to the character. Like I said, adding new elements, they add new elements in this movie. I won't spoil it. Like I said, that's the great thing about some of these remakes. Like Aladdin, like a Beauty and the Beast. When you add new elements, I mean, you can still have the same, for the most part, the Little Mermaid movie is still the same Little Mermaid movie of the original. Just like Aladdin, just like Beauty and the Beast. You know, meat for meat like the original. But when you're able to add new elements and add more development for characters and a couple new songs, that's where this works for me. And then there are new elements, like more of a backstory with Eric, some new songs, even how they handle certain moments when Ariel loses her voice. I thought, oh, that's something new. That wasn't in the original. That's really interesting. I like it. Good job. Humor. This movie's hilarious throughout too. Like I said, Sebastian and Scuttle, great. Ariel has some funny moments. Eric has some moments. Now the movie is funny. There's a lot of humor, which is good. And I want to applaud Rob Marshall. Rob Marshall, you have as they say in Dumb and Dumber, you have redeemed yourself. You have fully redeemed yourself after you did Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, the fourth one, or as I like to call, the worst one. I'm glad you came back to the Pirates of the Caribbean, or back to Disney and made a better movie. Like I said, Rob Marshall has the background of musicals like Chicago, Rent. And obviously this movie plays to that because there are a lot of musical numbers in The Little Mermaid. But he also brings the flair, the visuals. Like I said, I thought the visuals. You know, a lot of people were worried because some of the trailers looked like the visuals didn't look that good. But it's a trailer, you can't always go by that. They do trailers months and months and months and months in advance before a movie comes out. And that's when the people are still working on the movie. And I thought the visuals, especially the underwater scenes, looked tremendous. I think there might have been maybe one shot where Ursula's moving around underwater, and you can kind of see a little bit of a difference in the CGI. But visually, the movie looked good. Like I said, Scuttle, Sebastian, Flounder, all the other mermaids, Ariel, Ursula, they all look great. Visually, the movie looks tremendous. So I want to give that a shout out. But yeah, I thought Rob Marshall did a great job. Visually, the acting, I think you get someone like Halle Bailey, who's a newcomer. She steals the movie. You have to adapt a really classic animated film, unlike a lot of the other Disney animated films, to live action films that have not worked out. And overall, I think he did a great job redeeming himself from Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. What was that, Chef? Yeah, we ran out of flounder. Okay. You're a fan of flounder? Fan of flounder. Flounder fan. SF. You might be a little disappointed. There's not much of flounder in this movie. There's not much of, if you're a fan of flounder the fish, you're not going to get much of flounder the fish. Not much at all. Not much flounder. If the catch of the day, flounder, wasn't good. King Triton. I wish they had more King Triton. Javier Bardem, our boy Javier. Javier also returns to Disney, and there's another Sea movie. Sea? He was in the last Pirates of the Caribbean. Dead Men Tell No Tales. He was Salazar, Captain Salazar, hunting down Captain Jack Sparrow. I liked him in this movie. He worked for me. I wish we had more scenes of him. It's Javier Bardem. When you got Javier Bardem, you use Javier Bardem. So I wish we had more of him. Howard King, who plays Eric. I've never seen this actor before. He's a newcomer to me, at least. Once again, originally Eric was supposed to be played by Harry Styles. He was cast. He was in it for a little while, and then before they started shooting, he dropped out. I don't know why. Maybe he went to go work with his girlfriend at the time, Olivia Wilde, on that movie Don't Worry Darling. Don't worry, darling, your movie's not going to be that good. And not make any money. Okay. And then after the movie's out, we're going to break up. Okay. Wouldn't be over like Halle Bailey did. In fact, even when he did his own solo song, I think the song was fine, but the acting, like half the time his eyes are like closed, and he's singing. I'm like, why are your eyes closed? It's not even sunny. I mean, what's going on? So I didn't understand that. I think that was probably one of the weaker songs because of the performance. And, I thought he was alright. He didn't do much for me, If we got, Henry Cavill in there, that would have been a great Eric. Or Patrick Dempsey. Hey. I made live action films. I think it was a little too long. At 2 hours and 15 minutes. Why? I think this movie was actually an hour longer than the original. I'm going to put the original, how long the original was at the bottom. I'm pretty sure it was almost an hour longer than the original. Now, once again, they did flesh out Eric more. They developed more of Ariel when he got talking. So I understand, you gotta flesh out some scenes. They added some new songs. Like Eric's song, that's a couple minutes. Stuff like that. They added more with the mermaids underwater. I get it. But 2 hours and 15 minutes. I think if you took out 15 minutes and just made it 2 hours or under 2 hours, it would have been fine. Good. But yeah, I don't know why I like that. I don't know why they're making these live action remakes over 2 hours long when most of the originals were at the very most 90 minutes. Tops. Like most of them were like an hour and 20, an hour and 15. For some reason we're going over 2 hours with these remakes. Don't know why. But overall, I did enjoy this movie. I liked how they start with the original, but then they added new elements. You have great performances from Halle Bailey, Melissa McCarthy, um, Sebastian Scuttle. The musical numbers worked. So overall, I would give this like a 4.3 out of 5. Like I said, I would think I would rate this pretty high with like Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, and probably like The Jungle Book. So let me know in the comments below, did you see The Little Mermaid this weekend? Are you going to go see it? Are you a fan of the original? Anyway, Matt the Man here.